I'm Frank Melling and I'm here in Spain. I've just got back from a 150-mile ride in the mountains on the new MV Agusta Stradale. In fact, Stradale is the wrong word for this bike. It ought to be called the Swiss Army knife of motorcycling, or maybe the Italian Army knife of motorcycling, because this is a bike that's part sports bike, part commuter bike and part tourer. Giovanni Castiglione, who owns MV Agusta, is the chief executive, describes it as a sports bike light and a touring bike light, and he's pretty well on with it here. At the heart of the Stradale is the F3800 engine. It's a three-cylinder engine and it really is a peach. In the Stradale, they've got the motor so it's really torquey. I mean, the bike will pull from ridiculously low revs in top gear, 35 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. The bike will pull away like a diesel. And at the other end, it's a screamer. It peaks out at about 12,500. And from 0 revs all the way to 12,500, it's as smooth as silk. It really is a peach. Being an MV Agusta, it has to have an MV Agusta sound, but this being 2014, of course there are noise regulations, so it will burble around like a scooter, as silent as an electric motor. But if you get those revs up to 7,000, 8,000, there's a lovely rasp. And it still gives you that tingle in your tummy. As you go through the gears, whoa, it's away. The noise is gorgeous. Panniers are a key part of the Stradale and they're really neat. They come off easily and they're integrated and they look fine and they've got integrated lights. So they're absolutely an excellent piece of design, except for one major mistake. They're too small to take a helmet. So when you get to where you're going, first thing you want to do is put your helmet and your gloves away, or if you've got a riding partner, 2 helmets, 2 gloves, and the damn things are too small to take them. It's heartbreaking that such a clever idea should be spoilt for the sake of a few inches, but it is spoilt. The seat on the Stradale is excellent and it's nearly perfect, except for this silly hump here, which I really can't work out why anybody put it there. And on my height, which is 5'10", this sticks in the back of your spine, back when you could stretch your legs and have a wriggle round. If I owned one of these bikes, I'd get that taken out straight away because it's a nuisance. The rest of the seat, the ergonomics are excellent. And it's also excellent for a passenger as well. Whoever designed that, I don't know. It looks stylish, it looks MV, but in terms of practicality, it's silly and it wants ripping off. But there you go. These things happen in a design house. The switchgear on the Stradale is very good. It's ergonomically sensible. It feels right and it's in the right place, except for the indicator switch, which has got 2 faults. First of all, it's buried here underneath where you can't get at it. And the second thing is that it has very shallow cancelling. So everybody that's been on the test ride today has been leaving the indicator on and have been struggling to cancel it. It's a shame really, because the rest of the switch gear is good. There's a vast amount of options here to toggle through. The dash is okay, it's not as good as it would be in colour, but it's practical. Everything fits beautifully, but this is a real nuisance. And if you're in urban traffic, and bear in mind that this bike is designed for urban use as well as out on the highway, having to fiddle with the indicators is a real nuisance. In some ways, the quick shifter and the electronics are the most important part of this bike. MV have suffered in the past from engine mapping that's been really second rate. The engine mapping on this bike is absolutely perfect, from 0 revs all the way up to 12 and a bit, which is the red line on this. MV have also shot the Fox good style in terms of automatic scooters and dual clutch bikes, because you can ride this almost like a clutchless bike, except for setting off, and you've got to be above 30 kilometers an hour, about 20 miles an hour. You've got complete quick shift up and down. I started off 150 miles ago very skeptical over the quick shifter. I'm thinking, yes, well, this may be MV dreams, but what is it like in the real world, in real traffic, with real farm tractors? And I've tried to make it not work during the test ride. So I've done things with it which are not standard. So you would expect maximum revs to go through the gears. It would work fine if you had a replica of a racetrack. What I've tried to do is make it not work by using it in uncomfortable situations. And the thing works a treat. There's absolutely 100% certain that in a practical 365-day-a-year use in town, in the country, in difficult situations, that quick shifter works. If it works, then you have to ask yourself, why do you want dual clutch technology? Why do you want the rest of the nonsense? Because this bike has heart, it has character, and it works, and that's an end to it. So in summary, the one question you should always ask a journalist is, would you spend your own money on this bike? And to be honest, I think I would. Okay, the seat's a nuisance, the panniers aren't perfect, but you do get an awful lot of bike for your money. You get the MV name, you get the MV finish, everything is beautifully made, it's beautifully executed. But more than that, you get a bike that you can go to work on, and it's perfectly practical as an urban commuter. You get a bike that you can go out for a gentle ride or not so gentle ride with your wife or your girlfriend, and that will work a treat. And you've got a bike that you can go and ride as hard as you want until you get your license suspended. And you could even take this in the intermediate group of a track day. It brakes well, it handles well, it's very, very easy to ride. And I guess the most important thing for me, at the heart of it, there is soul in this motorcycle. Speaking to Giovanni Castiglione last night, he said that he makes MVs with his heart and with his passion. And this is not a motorcycle that just works, it's a motorcycle that's got something special. I've got to take this back now, MV want this back, and to be quite honest, I'll be sad to see it go, which isn't always the case with test bikes. But yeah, the Stradale is something special. Maybe a MV have touched on a very clever idea.